Should I care about where my college is located? For employment purposes, yes. For enjoyment purposes, absolutely. I suggest for my students to try to gain a comfort for campuses in rural areas, urban areas, and suburban areas. Now, I also kind of like them to get a sense of large, medium, or small. So there's a 3x3 grid that I encourage. On the geography part, rural, urban, suburban, it used to be very important for the employment aspect to be near a city. It is less important now, with one exception. The reason it's less important is employers have gotten used to kids not being able to visit. For 18 months now of COVID, their best candidates were hired with Zoom interviews. The on-campus recruiting that top-tier firms used to do is not necessary anymore. And though it may pick up again, enough employment relationships have been formed between college senior and sophisticated employer that you're going to be able to break through. Now, here's the exception. The reason why city seems to still have an advantage, that if you're in or near a city, there are more internships available. And that is a cauldron for getting hired. What you do for another employer becomes maybe the best aspect of your resume. How you react to another employer's work, the kind of recommendations is helpful, but even if the recommendations are ignored, your own comportment, because you sat side by side a 35-year-old adult full-time job, you have had a boss that you've had to deal with for good or for bad, you've had colleagues that you were responsible to. The kid who's just doing straight 4 years in college without that internship lacks these things that employers are finding more and more valuable. So, if you can do that internship in your suburban home in the summers, then it really doesn't matter that you're going to be in rural America for the rest of your 9 months of the year. If you're not able to land summer work or don't want to, you want to be on the beach somewhere, then that internship probably is more able to be landed if you're in a suburban or urban setting. I'm the proud product of a rural college, but I have a harder time steering people who want the practicality of getting hired with ease to rural colleges continuing. Now, the enjoyment aspect. Rural, urban, suburban. It is really what floats your boat. The good news with urban and suburban is it's easy to get in between, and it's not terrible to vacation rurally. When you are starting off 100 miles away from a city, then it is kind of a venture. The rides that you can get aren't as prevalent. The Uber cost is going to be really high to get into the city, so you really have to think an extra time. A lot of students have made that thinking. They have flourished, relished in their hiking, their canoeing, their outdoor camping, and like almost that experience 9 months of the year. Not going to dissuade you, but I would still encourage the internship for those other 3 months where you can get it. I'm Mark Greenstein.